Namaste. Myself Vasundhara here, welcoming all to the yoga session. Today we will be seeing the postpartum series. So, postpartum, which all asanas we can do. That's what we are going to deal today. So, this is a part 2 session. In our previous session, we have seen that we have started the session with the loosening and also we done some Chalaspadasana so that to relax our hip and everything. So today's series we will be dealing everything with the asanas, which are asanas we have to do and how and when to do. So make sure that when you are scheduling your postpartum yoga session, make sure you are concising it into like according to your time. Like if you have only 30 minutes, like 10 minutes you do the loosening and breathing exercise, and then again in the middle just give a brief relaxation time. Then 10 minutes for your asanas, and later on just move on to the relaxation. So we can conclude within the 30 minutes. And in the asanas, make sure you're focusing only on particular series. That suppose today if you are doing this Monday you are doing sitting series, on Tuesday you concentrate on the standing, and Wednesday you can do the supine series. So it helps you to explore more on the yoga parts and also explore more on the changes happening in your body. And when you get a long time, enough time to practice for 1 hour, you can consolidate all these series and you can do it. So today we will be seeing what type of asanas you need to concentrate on the initial days of your practices. So we all know that after delivery, the muscles which is weakening is our perineal muscles as well as our pelvic muscles. So we have to strengthen that perineal muscles and your pelvic muscles. And for this, the apt or the easy way is including Baddha Konasana, Tittiriyasana and Mula Bandhasana. So while you are practicing Mula Bandhasana, we will be also seeing how to do Uddiyana. We combine Uddiyana and Mula Bandhasana combined together. So first, we are going to see how to do Tittiriyasana. So when you are doing a Tittiriyasana, stretch your legs forward with enough space in between both the toes, so that because most of them have abdomen will be flabby, some of them they will be having abdominal fat, so it will be difficult for them to keep their legs together. So just give a little space between the foot and your right leg and your left leg. Just focus on your right toe. So just bend the right toe and place it aside the left knee. Okay, so just bend your right knee and place your right foot aside the left knee so that you have an enough space you can create in between your inner thigh and your calf muscle. And just take the other leg and place both the feet together. So now if you see now, you can see a rhombus shaped structure. Don't take your legs in so that you give an immense pressure on the inguinal region. Just give a small space there. And you just try to sit on the hip bone. Adjust your gluteal muscles, remove the fat, and adjust your adjust your gluteal fat and sit on your hip bone. And your spine erect. Touch hold of your foot gently. Just hold it in front so that you will be leaning forward, and don't curve your spine. Just make sure you're keeping your spine straight, your shoulders wide open, and head focus forward. Now, this is a posture which we will be doing for Baddha Konasana, Tittiriyasana, Uddiyana and Mula Bandha. For all the 4 series, this is a posture which you are going to do. So, on each count, make sure you try to bring your knees down and try to touch it on the ground on each count, like 1, 2, 3, just bring your knees down to the ground. And you can just maintain with a normal breathing. There's no inhalation, exhalation or retention of the blood, just normal breathing. The only thing you have to remember is that you have to keep your spine erect and you are sitting in a very comfortable posture without giving much strain to your back muscles. So I am comfortable in this posture. Now on each count, let's bring the knees down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So at a point you can't move down. So just hold it on that point and just maintain normal breathing. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and slowly lift the knees up. Normal. So while you're pushing your knees down, you can feel the contraction in the inguinal region. So automatically your perineal muscles are getting tight inside, not outside. Even though this is the stretching pain you are getting, that contraction happens inside. Okay, only we can do it for 5 to 6 rounds. The initial stages just concentrate only on the 3 rounds. So here we will be practicing 3 rounds. Sit straight and gently push your both the knees down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Very good. One last round. Just sit straight. Push your knees down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Release. So just relax, stretch your legs forward if you wish, and place your hands at the back and just relax. Meanwhile, you can just move your legs, your foot forward and backward. Just feel the stretching in and out. Very gently, just move your legs in and out and just go for a rotation. It's just to relax your thigh muscles as well as the calf muscles. Release and release. Okay, it's clear with the Baddha Konasana. Now we go for the Triasana. Same method we'll be doing. We'll be bending the left knee, then the right knee. Now here also we are just placing the leg like this. We are not taking in as usual Triasana we will do. Here we just keep maintaining that longer shape or the shape of the thigh. So in your space, adjust your hips, so you're sitting on your hip bone. Just flap your legs. Gently flap your legs. Very gently, because if you are normal delivery after 1 month, when once your stitches are healed, you can try this. If you are cesarean also, just make sure that you are not stretching too much as we do normally like this. Don't stretch it, just gently flap it. Just feel that stretching here. And C-section, always consult with your gynae. So it's a very good posture which help you to develop or redevelop or enhance the functioning of your perineal muscles. And you can feel that openness in the genital region. Just maintain. Just go for 50 counts of flap. Normal breathing, you can do it. And you can do this asana while you are watching the TV, when you are cutting the vegetables, anything you can do. Is very simple. And always make sure you are keeping your spine straight. And gently, you are going to relax it. Just maintain. Now take your legs in, catch hold of it, and sit straight. And gently, now don't move your knees. I just want you to move your elbows out. Just open your elbows out. While you are opening your elbows out, automatically your body comes forward. So make sure you are not curling your spine. Your spine has maintained that natural curvature. And open your elbows out and gently come down while exhaling, and your head not bent down, same, maintaining the same level, and you can feel the catching type of pain in the back. Just maintain that posture and just lift your head up and look up. Just maintain. Feel the changes in your upper chest region. Give a full contraction towards the back. It's very good for your low back pain, upper back pain, neck pain. Release your head on exhalation and gently come up. Simple technique. It's a variation of Baddha Konasana for your whole back area. So the side by, it's easy for you to follow me. You can also just practice with me. Spine erect. Just look forward. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the the elbows out, head straight. Once you feel that catching pain, just maintain. Now inhale, look up. Just maintain the posture. Normal breathing. Full awareness over your upper back, middle back, and lower back region. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the head down and gently come straight. Now you can stretch your legs forward, hands at the back, just relax your body. Feel the changes in your body, especially over your back region. Make sure you are relaxing the body. Slowly come to the sitting posture. Now we will practice Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. So, what is Bandha? Bandha means it's a lock. So here we are, there are pinchers. They will be because of the changes of contraction which we are giving outside. The sphincters or there will be automatic lock happening in the sphincters as well as the abdominal part. So mainly there are three types of bandha: Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha, and Jalandhara bandha, where you are with your gestures you are just closing or you are giving a small closure of the sphincters. So in Uddiyana means to fly up. Uddiyana, Udna, flying up. So here how we are going to do is, you have to inhale, you exhale it out, and you are going to do something with your abdomen. Here you have to suck your abdomen in and lift it up. That is Uddiyana. You lift it up. So your abdominal muscles are getting contracted and it is lifted up. Now the organs, your body, the muscles are just stretched up. At that point in time, you have to contract your perineal muscles. So it will be difficult in the initial stage to isolate the perineal muscles and contract it. So what I advise is that you just concentrate on the anal region and you just contract the anal sphincter for the initial stages. Later on practice, you can just isolate the perineal muscles and do it. Okay, while you are contracting that anal sphincter, automatically your genital region or the urethra, where through urethral passage where the urine comes, those areas also get contracted. Never mind that. Just it's happening, just leave it like that. But your full awareness should be over that anal sphincter. Okay. So first sit straight, place the hands on the knees and you just sit straight, your body erect, and don't open your chest out, just normal posture. Now you have to inhale, exhale, suck your abdomen in and lift it up, contract it. Okay, so just follow, see how I am doing, then we will do with the instruction. Inhale. This is how you have to do it. Now we will do with the instruction. Only 2 rounds will be done. Okay. Now sit straight. Gently close your eyes. Keep full awareness towards your abdomen. Just feel the abdominal muscles. Very good. Now slowly inhale. Exhale it out. Now slowly stick your abdomen in and lift it up. Contract your anal sphincter. Contract it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release the contraction. Inhale. Release the Uddiyana. Very good. Once more. Slowly sit straight. Inhale. Exhale it out. After complete exhalation, suck your abdomen in and lift your abdominal muscles up. Uddiyana Bandha. Now slowly go for Mula Bandha. Contract your inner sphincter. Contract it. Just by holding the breath outside, just maintain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release the Mula Bandha, release the Uddiyana and inhale. Very good. So in the initial practice it will be difficult, but daily you do it. It's very good for your strengthening your abdominal muscles, because there will be a diaphragm and the diastasis, that is there will be a separation gap between two abdominal rectus muscles. Mainly some people they have 4-finger gap, sometimes they have 2-finger gap. So depending upon the expansion of your abdomen during the pregnancy, so it will help you to reduce it, and Mula Bandha will help you to strengthen the floor muscles, and it is one of the practice which they do it as Kegels exercise. So all these things they are doing it the Kegels exercise also. Make sure you practice Baddha Konasana, Tittilyasana, Mula Bandha with Uddiyana in the initial days. Okay, maybe it takes 2 or 3 weeks. So after that, you can later move on to the actual asana part. These are also asanas, but we are focusing on the muscles. Now we are just focusing on the physical and mental health of the mother. So when you start, after practicing all this Baddha Konasana, Tittilyasana and Mula Bandha, slowly come to Shashangasana. Sit in a very comfortable posture. Make sure that you sit in Vajrasana, and while you are sitting in Vajrasana, most people they keep their legs like this. This is actual practice. They keep their legs like this, or they are also sitting like this. So when you sit in this posture and do the next series, it will be difficult. So for that, just keep the toes out and open the heels towards the side. So while you are sitting, the heels touches the sides of your buttocks. Okay, so it will give a comfortable zone to sit, and yes, you will have the pain here for the initial days. Just bear with the pain and just sit in Vajrasana for 1 to 2 seconds, and slowly raise your hands above your head. Gently bring your hands down and slowly touch the forehead to the ground. Make sure you are not lifting the hip up to touch the head. Just place the hip down as much as possible and bring your head down. Just relax with your elbows on the ground. Don't stretch your elbows. Just relax it. And now you just lift the hip up and touch the crown on the ground and stretch your neck. Take the hands and place it aside. While you coming back, bring the hands back and slowly come to Shashangasana. So from Shashangasana, we have gone to another asana, isn't it? So that asana is known as Urdhva Shirshasana. So Urdhva Shirsha means what? The forehead and the crown region. So in the sitting, we are just placing the Shirsha, head or the crown region to the ground. Never place your forehead to the ground. It may increase, when you place the forehead to the ground, you will have the stretching in the front. We want the stretching in the back region. And you just come to the posture. It's Urdhva Shirshasana. It's a very good posture, especially for your neck pain. Those who are having cervical spondylitis, because after postpartum, one of the common complaints which mother says about the neck pain, because after a change in the physical posture, that is from lordosis to kyphosis during the pregnancy, they are coming back to a normal posture. So during that time, they may have difficulty in maintaining the posture. Okay. So we'll do that posture. So sit straight. Inhale and gently place the hands down. Shashangasana. Lift the hip up. So automatically your crown touches the ground. Release the hands and maintain. Slowly come to Shashangasana and gently lift. slowly relax. So while you're practicing this, I just want to say you one thing. When you're touching the ground, head to the ground, obviously there will be a pain. And if you are so stressed or something, because according to acupuncture, here you have this point called 220. It's the sedative pain, set point. So you have that pain. So if you have suffering from severe headache, migraine, you can do this asana. Urdhva Shirshasana, you have a sudden relief without having any tablet. Sudden relief from the headache, migraine, and it's a very good practice for, especially for your cervical spondylitis, that picking pain which you have in the back region. So it will be helping you to overcome all these pains. So today's session we have seen the asanas to improve your perineal muscle strength, and the asana to reduce your diastic recti, that is the gap between both the mainly you can feel that yeah, you can examine that gap when you are placing your abdomen, your fingers in the navel region, and then you can just go for relaxing in Shashangasana. Then you just go for Urdhva Shirshasana for your relieving the severe neck pain and everything. So make sure you do practice this. So consolidate all the practices which we have done. First loosening exercise, breathing exercise, then go for the asanas and Chatushpada asanas, all that series. Then you just come to the Vadakonasana series which we have done with this, keeping your legs like this. And then you come to the Shashangasana and practice this one. Today we are ending with the Urdhva Shirshasana. So just practice this, feel the changes, and after 1 week of each practices, we give 1 week time. So your body will get used to it and you can feel the change, then move on to the other schedule. So likewise, you have to keep on. And one more tip I would like to share with you, because the other common problem which we suffer during your postpartum period of after childbirth delivery is that your abdomen and your constipation or diarrhea, the indigestion problem is there. So take a small towel, a normal Indian towel, not a Turkey towel, a cotton cloth. If you don't have a normal Indian towel, or just can go for a cotton cloth, enough to fill the space between your notch here and till this lower abdominal area. That much height the towel should have. So if suppose this is the towel you are taking, just fold it and make sure that folding part should be enough to cover this much area. Just roll the cloth, just dip it in the normal water, the normal temperature water, and just wring it so that the excess water goes out, and the cloth is soaked in water. That's what I need. And I don't want the dripping out, just bring it the excess water and just tie it around the abdomen. Around the abdomen, just go for 3 or 4 layers of tying. If you are taking an Indian towel, make sure you are getting a very long towel, or else you can just go for a dhoti also, that much length should have. And just tie it around your abdominal space between this much, and just sit it. You can do any work. And only point, just sit for 15 to 20 minutes. It's a very effective treatment. It's an abdominal pack. It's a treatment for your digestive problem. If you are suffering from acidity, constipation, diarrhea, that flatulence problem, everything can be rectified with this abdominal pack. It's a very simple technique. And with the tying that along with the abdominal pack, you can just do your other household works. No issues in that. So just along with the asanas, make sure you are following this abdominal pattern. So thanks so much. Namaste.